All right. I can work with that. There we go. Let me get switched over to this call on my PlayStation. Good evening, America. This is Big Mista, the only announcer in the booth tonight. And we sit here preparing for a loaded show here in the BRL Truck Series at Talladega. The 21 car, Duncan, out ahead of this field here in the early laps of this thing. He's got help from that 14. Diddy Nook helping back in tandem. Finney and Zach on the outside with that 88. Logan further back into the wall. Last night, Cup Series at Talladega, our winner, Pickle Chris, and he was able to do that off of really just his listening skills, which is a crazy thing to say about a road race. He won it off of his listening skills and his ability to use the blend line effectively to prevent himself from getting penalized. Later tonight, 8 p.m., Cup racing right here on BRL Live, Martinsville Speedway, and a moment paramount to the season because Brunswick, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Fenty has a bad finish, it will be game over for him. And Bella, despite being suspended, will make the championship, and Fenty will probably be stuck finishing in 5th in points, or even further back. I think it'll be 5th though. Bella will get a 4th place points finish just because she was able to make the Darlington race, which was double points worth and potentially worth a season of potentially racing for a championship, even though it wouldn't be actually getting to race for the title. Still, I don't know how that's run. I don't know if you're a Brunswick. You're gonna have to help me on this one. Do we just take Bella out, or is it just gonna be a 3-driver champ 4 if Fenty cannot pass Bella in the points? I'm not 100%. But Bella is not out of the cut line right now. I know Bella's suspended, but Bella is not below the cut line, I don't believe. Bella is 15 points to the good, actually, in the championship 4. So if Fenty were to not be able to show up or anything of the nature, which, something about the DNF points that you added is not correct, because, oh, you just added him to the rear of the field in 9th at Darlington. So yeah, that adds up. So yeah, unless something crazy happens, then there will be a championship 4 that really no stakes here tonight. I'm going to be honest. That being due really more than anything to the suspensions that came from Darlington, with Trey and Bella being suspended, and then the other guys, Zach, Chase, Jen, and Kevin, just not being able to run throughout the chase. But still, you know, a lot of things that can happen tonight. You're talking about Rocky, a guy that is always in contention at Martinsville. Fenty, Chris, those are going to be contenders, and then you never know who of the MWRT bunch is going to show up and try and put the whooping on the field. So I think we've got ourselves a show there tonight that'll be worth watching. But it really, the paramount stress, the paramount stress that the playoff brings will be no factor, because if Fenty even shows up, then he will be into the championship round. As Duncan continues to lead. Oh, no, he doesn't. He spins Diddy Nook, who flips into the grass. And a hard into the pit wall. Diddy Nook is upside down. That 88, Logan going to take the lead from that in a wild turn of events. No caution because it was just a 1-car spin. But that one car went flying through the air. And that one car was potentially provoked by Duncan, who Chris is now handing a 0.5 out of 3. That 88 of Logan has not won here in BRL yet, trying to score his first win here in the Craftsman Truck Series. Plenty of experience with victory here in BRL, a two-time winner in the Cup Series. Two-time winner in the Cup Series, Fanny. He won the Brickyard 400 last season, and this season earlier on won at Martinsville. But his success has not been the Cup Series level, but more his dominance and championship contention. And that's not to say he's not a successful Cup driver. He's heading to the championship race with a shot to win it, but he just isn't he hasn't done a whole lot in the case of winning in the Cup Series. 2 Cup wins over 2 seasons. It's not a bad showing, but it's not one of the elites. He's not 34 or Kevin or Connor or one of those guys that, Connor's got 5 wins on the season just this season. Chris has got 4 wins on the season. Contacting up the track goes Duncan, 3 wide. And how much do tires and fuel, Brunswick very familiar with the term tire fuel. How much does that come into play in today's race when you're talking about Stock Car Thunder, and what did that produce at Homestead, a tire race? Is there any potential for something like that to reemerge today? I don't have anyone to ask because, well, there's no one else in the booth. The 16 of Daytona now in that Ram out in front, but Duncan with a push, and he is in a very, very precarious situation. And I know that even though it's lap 9, he is experiencing a form of deja vu from the earlier season at Daytona when the Rams were together and he was racing for him the lead at the super speedway. Nico came out the winner, the victor here in the BRL Truck Series, and it became one of those Brunswick TikTok sensation videos. And heck, let's see if we can have another one today. Don't you think, Brunswick? Maybe we can make that happen again. Side by side commercial break right now. We'll be right back.
You guys, Wendy's has new Biggie deals starting at just $4. So now you can decide how biggie you want to go, which is kind of beautiful. I'm not condensating, you're condensating. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Welcome to the edge of racing, where rookies turn fearless and veterans remember why they started. It's raw, aggressive, unpredictable. Out here, nothing's promised, not even next week. On Saturday, it's not about the fame, it's about the fight. These cars don't forgive, and neither do the drivers. Chaos strikes without warning. From small towns to grandstands, America's behind the wheel. Here, losing hits harder. And when they win, it's because they risked everything to get there. The NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Pure, raw racing. Only on the CW.
Chili's wanted to reintroduce the Presidente Margaritas to a NASCAR audience, but that was pretty complex, so we came up with the catchy line. Presidente, Presidente, that's all I wanna do is Presidente. Now, is this see a country song about Chili's Presidente margaritas. Just a shameless way to sell Chili's Presidente margaritas. Yup, sure is. Presidente.
All right, we're back here in Talladega. It's always a party in Talladega. And there goes Logan over and on top of Diddy Nook. And he caught me right as I was trying to get back in the groove of the announcing of the race. You know, I was not used to this single man job yet again. The 88 trying to make sure that I'm on my toes, and there goes those Rams through the middle, and to the point goes Daytona yet again. Out in front is the Rams, and that's their strong suit. Is the Rams have a strong sense of team unity and a much more unified presence as teammates, which allows them to win more races on these drafting tracks. And there's only been one other one. That was won by that Ram of Nico, that 27 truck. Nico, of course, hasn't been a truck sensation or anything, but that one win, that one lone triumph, he stood atop the mountain at Daytona. Not here tonight, but his Ram teammates will certainly love to learn from him and make sure that they can make it happen for him and make it happen for Pickle Chris and all the Ram guys that weren't here tonight and weren't, you know, they were busy or all other kinds of things. Make it happen to keep these Rams and their super speedway dominance alive. Diddy Nook and Finney down there on the bottom. I'm not Finney, Daytona. Finney is a Toyota, not a Ram. Daytona and Diddy Nook giving those good pushes to one another down there on the bottom. But when you have that outside lane stacked up with Duncan, Logan, and Finney, they've worked themselves almost as a team. They're not even the same manufacturers, all of them. Finney's a Toyota, the other two Fords. And there goes that 88 down to the bottom. Once that pass on Duncan, going to go to the outside. Where do those Rams go? They're going to leave out Logan here at Talladega. And Duncan in a performance this season that really just, you know, the ends haven't justified what really has been a great season for Duncan. You go back and you look at all the races that he's been in contention for and he didn't win them. You go back and you look at Iowa, he lost by half a car length and he definitely shouldn't have. That 21 Ford was really great that whole race, and right now just trying to navigate up through so that maybe the ends can justify the means for once this season and win the Truck Series Championship, which he's in contention for right now, sitting at 10 points back of Fenty. And what that equates to is, you know, if Duncan were to win this race, he would take the points lead regardless of pretty much anything that were to happen. Duncan takes the lead, and you're also talking about he gets 5 points for the pole award. Duncan has set himself up here. He won the Craftsman Pole Award by a 1/10 of a second, which is unheard of here at Talladega. He brought a fast racing line. Finney, Daytona, Diddy Nook, Logan L, all 5 of the lead pack cars coming into pits here on lap 17. Nook stopping for fuel. Not sure the benefits of stopping, as well as the 51 Finney stopping. And I don't know if you're stopping, you're supposed to stop. I don't know what's going on, but I know that you can drive through here and get fuel and I think tires as well, but maybe I'm wrong. if there is a man that, yeah, no, I think something's happening. There's more to it than what I'm looking at. Logan going to come out in P2 behind Finney. There's Daytona, Diddy Nook, and Duncan came out very detached from the lead pack. May not be right back on their bumpers. And as a matter of fact, there's Ches Jan just joined. We have already passed the halfway mark. I don't think Brunswick's going to let this guy race. Actually, I say that the halfway mark would be halfway down the backstretch of this lap. Jan was already here. I'm not sure how Brunswick will call that. That's not a easy call, but, you know, if I'm Brunswick, I'd probably just don't let Jan race. He didn't qualify. He hasn't been here for the first half of the race. The middle of pit cycle, he can't even let him merge this lap. He's not going to merge. He's missed half the racing, and that would pretty much put him out of the contention. I mean, he doesn't need to be in contention if he's not running the race. And speaking of people that are not running the race, the 15 to Zach just sitting down there for quite a few laps now. The top three kind of bunched up. Duncan and Diddy Nook, not so much. That's a two-car tandem, and they are just barely in the draft, if they even are. Fenty and that 88 of Logan as well as Daytona, I think they found themselves in the precarious situation where they have two options. They can either try and drive away from the cars behind them, put themselves in a spot where really, you know, they're going to get the good points. But, you know, for Daytona, that's leaving a teammate. For Logan and Fenty, it might be the loss of the race, because you never know if you're going to need that push from that 21 or that 14 that you don't necessarily get, because now you're leaving them back behind in the dust on this outside lane. Duncan needs to finish ahead of Fenty. A fourth place finish with Fenty potentially picking up the win here today at Talladega would absolutely derail that championship effort here in the chase right now, with Fenty out in the front of the field. You know, Duncan, like I said, is 10 points back. But that gap extends. He'll lose. Man, it'll be 20 points that he loses on Finney. He'll be 30 back with not long to go. That championship race at Bristol is Sunday. So he doesn't have a lot of time. There's not much. He's not going to be able to do much if he doesn't find a way up there. He's definitely drafting up to the leaders, and so is Nook. So that push that these guys are going to need with all the lagging back that they've done, and especially now that Zach is back, that push is there. That element of the big run is now kind of generated, because the package come from being a 3-car pack to a 6-car pack. That'll hopefully improve the racing when they come down to the checkered flag. Finney leads this race, still. Duncan in dire need of a win or a very strong finish to chop into Finney's points lead. Right now, the gap from him and Finney would be 30 points.
In the wall, actually. Hello, Mr.
Side by side behind Finney, and that is going to be the bridge to the gap that Duncan needed to now get right back up to that 88 and that 16. The Rams, the Fords, and the Toyotas, nobody's really aligned right here, which is making them a very ineffective group of pushers.
Yeah. They don't want to stay in line from what it looks like. They want to get past each other.
And hey, that works right into the favor of that Ford, that F-150 Duncan.
Yeah, he almost got to the inside of that 51, but they started joining each other, and it didn't work.
There's Duncan now back in the pack. Going to give the push to that 88 Ford F-150. The Ford alliance between Duncan and Logan now going to be helpful for Logan, as it's going to put him side by side. A nose in favor of Fenty. Maybe the Ram now gets out of touch with that Tundra, and that'll push that F-150 of Logan to the lead.
Logan to the lead at Talladega. Possibly first win? Oh, wait. Possibly first one, I think, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know if he's ever won in any series of the Brunswick Racing League. He's definitely not won here in this first season of the Craftsman Truck Series. But I'm sure with the way that this race has gone and the way this chase has gone, that Duncan would be glad to help Logan win if it prevented Finney from heading to victory lane. Duncan has had to fight and fight and fight up his way through the standings. And I know that 21 Ford is going to be trying to nose his way into the win today, but
He's already
I
doing
know
it as of right now. They're 2x2.
But the man's been points racing, and
Oh.
there's contact. The two chase leaders into one another and down the backstretch. That could have been catastrophic. And there may be more into it.
Plug, what is
Then he just
Baker
came back
doing?
up. I don't know.
Did
But
he
the
lose all his
Rams, look at
wins?
there. The Rams. Big block by Logan. The Rams making it happen in that Talladega, trying to keep the super speedway win streak alive.
Oh, both Rams have clicked it. They are now working on the bottom lane together. Oh, never mind.
Big block by Nook on the outside to Duncan. He'll go back down to the middle. Into the end goes Nook. The big block by Logan. Now, that'll keep him in the lead for the moment, but I think that the 14, by the time they get out of turn 4, will be the leader. He's the only one with help, that 21 F-150 of Duncan. And there's more contact. Finney into the fence. Not Finney, Nook. I get Diddy and Finney confused.
With the
Whoa!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Someone's about to die.
Zach just rakes Logan. And upside down goes the 88.
Upside down. Oh my God.
Boy, I think I think that'll be called retaliation, so maybe no penalty on that one, but we're going to have to wait from the command center, Pickle Chris, to see what's on that.
I'm not sure what's happening down here. I just got in here and I already see somebody flipping.
Yeah, I just got in here, and all of a sudden the next thing we see is that 88 does a blowover over the Talladega logo, and the 21 F-150 Duncan tried to keep those Toyotas and Rams at bay. It's a evenly matched field. There's 2 Tundras, 2 Rams, and 2 Ford F-150s.
He gets the 2 out of
Basically a
3.
tandem draft
Wait.
race.
Logan got penalized?
2 out of 3 for that. I'm highly confused by that call by Pickle Chris, but we'll have Pickle Chris up here later on, and we'll make some officiating talk. We'll talk about the officiating.
You know what? I don't even know what's going on at this point. I'm not going to question it until Chris gets in.
I know what's going on is that Duncan would erase that points gap right now between him and Finney. 10 points. He got 5 for winning the pole earlier, and if he wins this race with where Finney is, he erases a deficit. It was huge early on, and now Duncan, at one point, the lowest driver. Finney around into the inside wall. They'll keep it straight.
So, Chris is saying he got penalized.
Big block by Duncan. And Spun saves it. Wow!
So it's being said by Pickle Chris in Roblox chat that the 88 was penalized of the contact with Nook that happened on the back straightaway.
Well, not necessarily penalized, but he was given that 2 out of 3 warning. Duncan saying that incident was freeze lag, which highly understandable. If I was looking into a row racing game, I would think about ways to make the connectivity better in these games, because you go and you watch a game like iRacing or one of those things, and they don't have freeze lag. What they have is netcode and things like that, which really help with the... Whoa, we got 2 in the fence! Upside down goes Zach! Will that draw the first caution of the day? It will.
That was retaliation. The 15 came right back up on the, Who else was it?
Oh my goodness, the first caution. We almost did it twice in 2 straight days last night. It was a caution-free cup race at Talladega. Today, we made it 28 laps. And then there was one.
Yeah, the 15 retaliated on the 88. Just he killed both of them.
Yeah, and the one that really got hurt by that was himself, who went upside down in turn number 1.
He's barrel rolling into one, really down the banking.
I wouldn't call what that was as barrel rolling, but he was like bouncing on his lid and tumbling and jostling around in that car. And now we have made it this weekend. We made it, what, 58 laps of the potential.
1.5 out of 3.
I think we went 58 of. I'm trying to remember how long the cup race was yesterday. Yesterday's cup race here at the same track, Talladega, was 45 laps. We made it of the potential number of laps that we could have done this whole race weekend. There was a number which was 80. We made it 73, the first 73 of 80 laps here at Talladega, caution-free. Our first caution was in the last 7, and it was none other than Zach that brought that streak to an end with a flip here at Talladega, and as well getting Logan involved. There's Nook getting to the back of the field. He was way back there. I'm not sure if he was trying to merge or what, but back underway here. 5 laps to go. Crunch time here at Talladega. Finney on point for the big championship stakes, and he almost ended up in a doozy of a situation over that bump. And down the back, that 51's got a gap. He built it up to those Rams, and that is not what you want to do. Those Rams are going to have a run. There goes Nook down to the bottom. If he leaves the top open, Daytona will go there and make the pass. Daytona down to the bottom. Nobody pushing Finney right now. They all want the lead, and that is not going to work. You can't all have it. Only one man can win this race. 4 laps to determine who that man is. Will the Rams keep it alive, or will somebody else drive it for Speedway victory lane? Hayden, are you there? No, he isn't.
I just got my food.
Oh. So I assume what you're saying is you need me to do this until the end of the race, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That 15, Zach now out in front looking for his second BRL Series win. The other was the Cup race at Dover. He's trying to put his name in the books with a win in the Truck Series, and that 15, he's got the help. He's going to need a little bit of luck and some dancing shoes. He's going to have to dance with these guys for the next 3 laps to make it happen at Talladega. Down into turn 1, Finney's going to look to the outside. Zach's going to cover it off. Now Finney maybe arcing the nose to go to the bottom. There's a gap back there if he wants to take it. Duncan giving the pushes to Finney. That's surprising with the situation we know they're in points, and Duncan cannot afford to give up anything right now. It's late in this season. There is 5 days of championship racing. Zach now into the wall with no help. And nobody will move up to give him any help. Finney will take the lead as they race back to 2 laps to go. The Rams punch a hole, and there they go, doing that methodical shuffle that won them the race at Daytona. 2 laps remain in this race. And Finney will get to the lead. There goes the Ram. Looks his nose to the bottom. Can't get there. Zach's now going to try and break those Rams up. They don't want to go anywhere from. The Rams get by Finney and take the point. Nook now to the lead. There's 2 laps left. Everything comes down to a shuffle on the white flag, but man, oh man, they've worked all these laps to make themselves in position to get this to happen. But who's in the right position? That is what 1 lap of Talladega Super Speedway Racing is here to help us find out. white flag, the doctor's jacket shown to that number 14. 1 to go, presented by Credit One Bank here at Talladega. And it's all going to come down to the energy up on the outside. That 51, he's got none of it right now. The Rams staying together on the bottom. 3 by 3 here at Talladega. Down the back, big momentum. Finney in that 51. He'll put the lead down the backstretch. Zach into the wall. Separation for Finney. Multiple drivers with big runs. To the inside goes Duncan. Finney will cover it off. Half a lap left here at Talladega. Can anyone make it happen? There's contact. 3 wide. Duncan to the lead. Here comes the Rams. The 14, the 21. They wreck. They told us upside down. Diddy, Nook, Duncan. Photo finish, and Nook wins it. And a hard crash out. Oh my goodness.
A crash.
That 14. That 14. Putting the Rams back in it. In a 3-way drag race to the line. And man, oh man, you know what there was for Finney and Duncan? Nook smoking the grass up. It's probably not the first time he's ever smoked in the grass. You know what I mean?
Or smoke grass in general.
Truth. It's a typical thing with people like Nook. I'm kidding. Please don't take that out of context. Nook smoking up the grass here at Talladega after his big win here in the chase and now a revival of his effort to win the championship, as he is the points leader and now extends that with the win by 10 points. It's 20 points to the Fenty machine back in, or no, it's the 20 points back to that 21 machine who finished second. And what an unfortunate break for Duncan, who now knows he's going to have to fight even harder after this race to go and claim that title. And, you know, also just thinking about the implications for this Martinsville race, you know, a little bit of momentum going in favor of that number 14, Nook. Could that help him get the win tonight in the Cup race, or even tomorrow at Old Atlanta, or even, you know, Lime Rock? Not a lot of races left. This is crunch time, and Nook just put himself in the spot to do it at the right time, the end of the season when the gap was getting close, and now that Nook machine looks very strong to go claim a championship. Big Nook, your Talladega winner right here for us in the VC. How does it feel, Big Nook?
It feels great. Was able to lock down another win in the playoffs. Was able to get another win for Chris's team. Made Big Pico proud of once again here in Talladega. I just didn't think I was going to win that. From the position I was in, I had to dive it 3 wide for the win. Went through the middle just like we did at Indy, but we was on the inside and 3 wide photo finish at the line. I saw I had Duncan on my inside, fence on my inside. I was right in the middle. Finish. I'm at the lane and victory here at the Talladega Speedway.
And I'm going to say it was one of the most anticlimactic, exciting finishes with the really only 6 cars. What do you say to the field count problems potentially facing us here in BRL? I mean, this is a super speedway. This is where the field count's supposed to be through the roof, and it's kind of a problem for the truck series. It's been great up in the Cup series. We had, over the field cap at Bristol. What do you say about the truck series field issues?
The field issues I don't really see with a big problem. There's less drivers to screw your champion hopes. Right now, I can't.
Why? What's the problem with the truck series that we're not necessarily seeing?
Maybe just letting truck series drivers race and maybe hosting trials next season to maybe increase the tendency of D3 because it's just D1 and D2 bushwhacking the trucks and no proper D3 drivers.
All right. That you heard it there. It's need to get more full-time D3 drivers. There's 0 of them right now. Or
we have a couple, honestly.
do we have any? I don't see any.
We have Optimus, I'm pretty sure, because he drives part-time Cup. I'm pretty sure Optimus is a truck driver full-time though, but just hasn't made a start yet.
No, yeah.
And the other thing I think we need to ask to our winner, Nook, championship lead extended now over Duncan with this win. What is that? What kind of thing does that put you in a position for? What do you feel like has this changed things? And what's the mentality now that you've got this win?
What Boss Man said earlier, yesterday at Talladega when he won, it's just set goals for yourself, set the goals for the next race. Cup Series, I have a goal set to just finish the race. We're in the Champ 4, but along with Big PC, and Fentanyl.
Nook, not only your winner, but your championship leader here at Talladega, and now going to be celebrating a paramount win to his season with his crew and with the team owner, Pickle Chris.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're going to go have some tacos and have a good night. Have a good night tonight on this good April 22nd.
That is very well said by Nook. It is, in fact, April 22nd. He knows the date more than I do. I've been saying it's the 21st the whole race. I'm an idiot. Am I doing a Chris interview? Because Chris wasn't exactly racing. Nope, we're ending the stream, but we'll be back in an hour here for the Xfinity 105 at Martinsville. We'll see you guys in an hour, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 to continue the chase at Old Atlanta. Strong race upcoming here at Martinsville with Jan, Duncan, Nook, Chris, and others going to be dueling it out. That's just reading off of the list of guys who are currently interested, and we'll probably see a much bigger and more anxious field of cars that want to win this race tonight. That's going to be all, and we'll see you later on. We'll see you guys at an hour